Welcome to the video guide of the FlashyScience gas laws experiment. In the centre of the screen you'll see a cylinder which later we'll introduce gas to and allows us to perform the main experiments. Now inside the cylinder there's a piston which seals the cylinder and doesn't let gas escape and allows us to change the pressure of the gas. We'll see how later. The cylinder has a vertical scale in centimetres which we can use to measure the height of the piston at any time. Knowing that height and the internal diameter of the cylinder being 5 centimetres allows us to calculate the volume of gas in the cylinder at any point. Now the various units that surround the cylinder include, at the bottom right, a gas select unit which we use to choose which gas goes into the cylinder. Above that is a force control unit which is used to control the load applied to the piston and therefore the pressure of the gas. On the left-hand side of the screen at the bottom is the thermal control unit, which allows us to control the temperature of the gas. And above that is a thermometer dial, which tells us the temperature of the gas at any point. Surrounding the cylinder is a blue jacket. This is an insulation jacket and it isolates the cylinder from the rest of the world, so it doesn't let heat in or out. So first, let's put some gas into the cylinder. First we need to turn on the gas select unit using this button. Then we can click and drag this select dial to choose one of these 4 gases. I'm going to stick with argon. Now click the Add Vent button to introduce the gas to the cylinder. Now if I press it again, it will remove the gas. I could change to a different gas now, but I'm going to put it back again, and the screen confirms that indeed we do have argon in the cylinder. I should note that argon is not really yellow. We false colour each gas just to emphasise that there are different gases that can go into the cylinder. You'll see that when the gas was introduced, the piston rose, and we can now measure the height of the piston and then calculate the volume of the gas inside the cylinder. Also, the needle in the temperature dial rose to show the temperature of the gas. We can change the pressure of the gas, as I mentioned earlier, with the force control unit. First, turn it on by clicking this button, and now 2 numbers appear on the lit screen. The top number shows the amount by which force or load will change at each step, and we'll apply steps in a moment. The bottom number shows the total actual force applied to the piston. At the moment, even though this shows 0 load, there is of course atmospheric pressure being applied to the piston. To change the step value, click the Set button, and the step value starts to flash. Using the keypad, input a number. I'm going to put in 100. And you'll see though that the step number is still flashing. So we press set again and the step number is locked into place. We can then click on the up or down arrows to increase or decrease the applied load. As we increase the force, of course the pressure on the gas increases, the volume decreases and the temperature goes up. Let's now decrease the total load again back to 0 where it started. We can also control temperature by pressing this switch on the thermal control unit. This changes the jacket from blue to red, which means it is now a temperature control jacket. We can now use this dial, which goes from 0 to 100, to control the temperature. The 0 and 100 do not mean any particular temperature scale, they just show a minimum and a maximum, so you need to calibrate this. So let's set the dial to a random value, and then look, I press the Set button and the temperature changes according to the dial value. Of course the volume responds as well, but the pressure does not because we're applying that externally. So we can use this dial to increase or decrease the temperature and see the gas volume respond accordingly. The experiment also has additional functionality that you can access via this icon in the top left of the screen. This opens a menu with 5 more icons. The first icon simply closes the menu again. The second icon returns you to the experiment when you are on a question screen. We'll come to these shortly. The third icon is the Click Information icon. Selecting this will highlight all of the areas on the screen that can be clicked to control the experiment. The fourth icon opens up a screen on questions directly related to the experiments you might have just performed. The final icon opens up revision questions that cover the area of gas laws more generally. All questions are answered automatically, and many contain randomly generated numbers, so you can retake them as many times as you like for practice. Using these controls, this experiment can be used to explore all sorts of gas laws, from some of the simple linear gas laws to adiabatic changes, even through to engine cycles and calculating their efficiency. Instructions of how to do all of these experiments are on our website, so there's lots to explore with this powerful experiment, and we hope you enjoy using it.